A brand new big budget action film is hitting cinemas this weekend, and I am really excited to talk about this one because this movie was a lot of fun. So let's get to it. Welcome back, film fans. It is Brad from Let's Be Royal Brad, and today on the channel, I want to talk to you guys about the brand new action film called Bullet Train. Bullet Train is directed by David Leitch, as it stars Brad Pitt, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Brian Tyree Henry, Joey King, and a bunch of other really big cast members. This film is about 5 assassins who will board a fast-moving bullet train to find out their missions that have something in common. So going into this film, I was really excited to check it out, considering the fact that David Leitch has been one of my favorite action directors in the past couple of years, as he co-directed John Wick, did Hobbs and Shaw, Atomic Blonde, and he was able to do Deadpool 2. So everything about this film just felt like it could be one of my favorite action movies of the year, and to my surprise, this movie was really fun. What makes this movie work so well for me has got to start with the cast, because Brad Pitt is once again amazing, as he always is, in the leading role, and he has been able to dominate another decade once again, as he is just simply hilarious in this movie. I loved this character, as he was just so entertaining and just so complex for a character like this. I just wanted to see more of this character as much as I possibly could, because Brad Pitt was excellent. I also thought Aaron Taylor Johnson and Brian Tyree Henry were also great in this movie, as they had some of the best comedic lines in the whole film. Joey King had to been the biggest surprise here, as I'm not the biggest fan of Joey King, as she has been in a lot of bad movies, but in this film she was great, and I felt like she was able to really get into this character and give it. With the biggest surprise of them all had to been Joey King here, as I'm not the hugest fan of her because of a lot of movies that she is in that are really bad. But in this film, Joey King was very dominant, and I really enjoyed her character here, and she was definitely one of the best aspects about the film. What I would say to be my favorite aspect about this film has got to be the action sequences, as David Leitch is able to shoot these action sequences in such a great way, as you feel like you know exactly what is going on in each shot, and it is so creative, it's so fun, especially when they're able to use every single aspect about the bullet train itself, which made the bullet train even more important and great for this type of story. I really love the way the characters are able to use weapons and the creative shots that happen, especially when it's able to create some hilarious jokes. Every single time there is a moment of action, you are glued to the screen, and I was just wanting to see what was going to happen next, because the action was so unpredictable. I also found that the cinematography, editing, directing, and the music were pretty good in this movie, and they were definitely able to craft this great atmosphere. But one of my favorite aspects about this film has got to be the humor here, as it is easily one of the funniest films of the year so far. If you're a big fan of Guy Ritchie or Quentin Tarantino films, especially in the writing and the humor, then you're really going to enjoy the humor in this one, because it was very reminiscent of those movies, but not in a bad way at all, because I found all the jokes just had the perfect timing and the perfect delivery, and they all just felt so creative and fun, especially with Thomas the Tank Engine, which had some of the most funniest bits in the whole film. I know I've been super positive about this movie so far, as I really do enjoy it, but this movie does have quite a few negatives here, and I do have to start with the screenplay. Within the first act, I felt that the film was just a bit too messy and all over the place, especially when you're trying to balance all these different characters and know their backstories and set up what the action is supposed to be. And I get that you need it for a type of film like this to be invested with our characters, but unfortunately it bounces around so much, especially when a lot of the characters have meaningless conversations, when half of them don't even come back until the end of the film and the other half is just non-existent. This movie just takes a long time to get going, but I do think a lot of people aren't going to be bothered by this, just for the simple fact that this movie is very entertaining with great performances and great action and a ton of humor. And the last criticism I have of this film has got to be the visual effects here, mainly with the CGI, as the CGI looked quite bad in the third act of the film. I didn't notice if there was any CGI in the first two acts, and if there was, I didn't even notice it, but there's a big pivotal moments that happens in the third act that you literally can't miss, and it features some really bad to mediocre CGI that was very distracting, and it didn't bother me all that much because they were playing it for comedic effect, and because the movie was so entertaining and over the top that it didn't ruin the movie, but it was definitely noticeable. Overall, guys, Bullet Train is one of the most entertaining action films I have seen this year that features great performances, great humor, and a great presentation along with it. If you're looking for a very fast-paced, witty, cleverly gory, bloody, action-filmed movie, then this might be it for you. I'm giving Bullet Train a 7 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for checking out this review. As I want to know below in the comment section, what is your ranking of all of David Leitch's films so far? I can't wait to hear about those. Before you check out this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a like if you want to, and ring that notification bell so I can see you all in the following video.